an idiot. And you know what they say about opinions, right?
Well, I don't give a damn. They like,
don't you even start. Yes, sir.
Girl, come on. I don't give a damn. I'm ready.
You always ready. You stay ready because you ain't got to get ready.
You already know. Because it's about what? To each his own.
Cheers, partner.
Cheers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now in my head, I go, when I think of home, I think of a place where that love overflows. First of all, I'm mad I'm mad you know the fucking song, but you ain't seen the fucking movie. You done pissed me off. Oh, I swear you gonna get your black card revoked right after Black History Month get over.
No,
just
I'm not.
You ain't see the Wiz. Ooh, I still can't believe it. But anyway, hey guys.
Little clips. What's on?
You know what?
Little clips and shit.
Not little clips and shit.
Yeah, little clips and shit.
All right, Dorothy. All right, we're gonna sit down one day and watch it. Just one day and just watch the Wiz all the way through. Please.
I hope I make it.
And I'm telling you, you're going to be entertained, especially watching it with me. If you watch the Wiz with me and my mom,
headphones and a blindfold so you can shut the fuck up.
No, I'm not, because I'm gonna entertain you on all the songs, honey. Okay, as soon as they start, you can't win. The Scarecrow, all of that shit. Follow the Yellow Brick Road, all of it. Yes, me. I'm telling you, you're gonna be entertained watching it with me. Trust me. Anyway, hey guys, we back. Another episode of Teach His Own podcast. I'm one of your lovely hosts, Miss Lomax.
And I'm the other one, Sunken Shot.
I was waiting for the it's his eye. I was waiting for it. Anywho, cheers, we back in the building, you guys. We just had an awesome episode before you guys with the gentlemen of the Juicebox Podcast. We want to thank them again for joining us. Yes, we are bringing it to you different a little today with the Zoom once again because it was convenient for what we needed to do.
Yeah.
So, what's been going on, partner?
Work, pod.
Work and more work, right? I just think it's been like we was talking about in the last episode, the bipolar weather has been making things real sluggish. As you guys can hear my voice, the weather has been getting to me. I already sound like a constipated 12-year-old, but when the weather gets to me, it's even worse. Girl.
I'm done.
So, anyway, sorry, you guys, but we still needed to bring you guys this episode, keep the consistency going, and keep it rolling. So, wasn't no weather going to stop no show.
Nope.
Okay. So you want to jump right into it, partner? You want to hit them off with the first topic? I'm not sure if you got some what's going on. That's been the news. I don't think it's really. One thing I just wanted to mention. Shout out to Method Man. He did get an NAACP award for. Give me 1 second. I saved it because I wanted to make sure I had it correct for him. Method Man won the award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series for his role in Power 2. So, shout out to you, Method Man. We are excited. Although we are now at the top of March when you got, we'll be maybe in the middle of March by the time you guys get this episode. I'm sorry. So, anyway, it'll be old, but nevertheless, we still want to get him in his props. So, let's go ahead and jump right into it, partner. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure we said that.
No, that's cool. You're good. So the first topic that we have for this evening is freedom of speech.
Oh, no, non-violent.
And when I was thinking about this and I was looking at this topic, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, damn, they say in America, you can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want.
No, you can't.
I mean, but you can, but to a certain extent. Certain things can get you in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Some things gonna get you in trouble with the law, and some things gonna get you in trouble with the streets.
Right. And let's be clear, there's some things that you can't even say about certain people without getting you in trouble with the law. Like you can't make certain threats towards the president or make certain statements even towards the president or members of Congress or members of the government, because that is considered a legal, act against the law, and you can legally get, legal consequences for that. Yeah. I got taught that very young, especially when it came to presidents that I didn't like. Christine, don't say that. You can get in trouble for that. Oh, I can really go to jail? Really? Damn. So, I had to be very careful with my words, because I'm a person who I just start spitting fire, typically. I know y'all hear it all the time. Yeah. And apparently I can climb the walls of the White House, too, and break in that bitch, but I guess.
A mess. Shameful.
A sin and a shame.
Yeah, the most recent example that we have of that is the situation I think we talked about in another episode. The situation with Tasha K and Cardi B. And that to be real sticky for her.
Did we get into it? No, I don't think we got into it in the episode, but that's a very big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't make up things about people. What's the difference between bidding on somebody, you know how we call it in Philly, making jokes on somebody, roasting, whatever the case may be. Excuse me. But when you just making accusations and putting accusations out there about somebody without having any history or any circumstantial evidence to try to lean towards that, and you just completely made it up because you said what you felt like saying that day, but it ultimately hurt this person's career, it hurt their character, it hurt the way they were able to move and make business in some of the rooms that they were able to be and move around in. Yeah, you got to pay for that. And Tasha said she ain't got it.
Yes, she did. That part. Cause
I didn't think she did, to be honest. I really didn't. I really didn't think she had, to be honest. But she might be paying that. She might be paying that. Again, I said I didn't think. I don't know. I'm not making accusations, people. Let's be clear. I don't know what that women's network is. I could be absolutely wrong. But she said she ain't got it.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I mean, but that little bit of money, I ain't gonna say a little bit of money because it's a lot of money to most of us, but that's really not a whole bunch of money to her.
Oh, to Cardi B? Right, yeah, it's not. But it's the principle.
It's the principle, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think behind closed doors, they might settle that out to a lower number or just kind of be on some shit like, you can't say my name or write about me again or some shit. You know what I mean? Because I think understandably, Cardi will know that she doesn't have all of that to pay her. It was just the principle, like you said. So we need to go through this whole entire process for you to understand that you cannot fucking play with me like this.
And if I know Cardi
tried to cost me something, right? That you actually tried to cost me something. Yeah, real shit.
You already know.
It was the tongue out of me like.
Vocalists be drawing.
Listen. Okay. So I really think she went through this entire process to make a point to say you can't just play with any old fucking body. And to be honest, I would have done the same thing if I was in Cardi's position. I'd have done the same thing. So it is what it is.
To teach her a lesson.
Yeah. And it didn't just teach not only Tasha a lesson, but the rest of us creators. You got to be very careful about the way that you move, the things that you're saying, especially, again, us podcasters. We're on a very informal platform. Everybody you can't just get in front of a mic and in front of an audience and say any and everything you be bold and bad enough to say. Although we may feel as though bring on all the consequences, but let's be very clear, depending on what those consequences are, some of us may not be ready for those and with the fire and the heat that brings. So just like in Cardi's other words, be careful with me. It's not a threat or a warning. Be careful.
Sounds like instruction.
You know I like that out.
Sounds like instruction.
Don't do that. You know I like that out. But I mean, have you ever got in trouble for saying something? Like for speaking your mind?
Yes, all the time.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
I ain't even lie. I'm known for getting in trouble. Like, not more so currently, but I had a history of getting in trouble at work for saying some shit that everybody else was scared to say.
Or just the person just ain't want to hear what you had. It wasn't even necessarily that you was wrong. It's just that they just didn't want to hear what you had to say at that time. Kind of doesn't go down.
I can be that friend too.
Yeah. Yeah. So
don't do that. Don't yell that hard. Don't yell that hard. You yelled a little too hard for me.
I wasn't saying it like that. I was saying yeah, but sometimes it just doesn't go down.
No, that yeah was a little too hard for me. I ain't like this.
You know what?
I'm sorry. Hold on. I am so sorry. I just had to let that out. Nevertheless, you know how you just had to cough real hard, but I didn't want it to be,
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It'll still be in the audio. Sorry. Nevertheless, I used to always get in trouble for talking a lot, talking too much in class. Like I was the kind of kid back in school used to have an A as a grade, but you would have a 3 for your behavior. My mom could never figure it out. Like, how you get an A and a 3? Because I say what the fuck I want and I'm done my work. Like, what else you want me to say? And like you said, I mean, I've made plenty of mistakes having freedom of speech. I didn't cuss in church. Father, forgive me. I've been very open at work to the point where I've gotten called out from, superiors and directors. I got called out in the courtroom in front of a judge. Not even about what I said, about my facial expression. So that's another thing that we got to be aware about with speech. Speech is not just about what we say. Sometimes it's our body language and my Ursula voice. What's wrong?
So what do you want your face to look like exactly? I'm confused.
I mean, but I tell people often I'm one of those people, whatever I'm not saying, my face is going to say. So either way, you're going to know what it is that I'm thinking.
Okay.
So you shit out of luck with me.
I'm saying it like that's not me sometimes.
Girl, I know your whole face. You said, I know what's wrong. I'm tired. You ain't tired. You sick of being here. You over there lying.
I'm tired.
That's my favorite line. I'm not gonna lie. When I want, that's my default line.
You gotta be like this.
Yeah, I'm tired is my default line. I'm not gonna even lie. Like if I don't feel like being bothered or if I don't feel like explaining myself to the person who's asking me or whatever, if somebody asks me what's wrong, I'm tired is my default defense. I just recognize that and just thinking out loud. I will often say, "Oh, what's wrong? You everything all right?" No, I'm just tired.
Well, I'm wrong for saying I'm tired. How I'm wrong?
No, but I took the time to. Yeah. No, you're not. You're not wrong, friend. What I'm saying is that I took this time to be self-aware and to recognize that the actions that you also display, I use as well, and now I'm understanding why I use it. So this was just a self-awareness moment for me. I was not coming down on you. It was as I noticed something about you, I also noticed something about myself. Bitch, that's why we friends.
You right.
Yeah.
Patrick, am I lying?
Nope.
Patrick, am I lying?
Nope. I don't know why, but I thought about that movie recently, so I said I was gonna watch it. Shout out to Tuka play that game, because that's that shit. Shout out to Tuka play that game. But I mean, as we wrapping up, I guess the topic of freedom of speech, we know that we coming out of Black History Month. Either you going non-violent or you going by any means necessary. I feel like there's two very extremes to people's perspectives when it comes to their freedom of speech. Either you gonna go all out there or you just kind of not gonna really say too much. Retreat. Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And y'all know what I'm gonna always do. Right.
We just can't with you. Anywho.
Okay.
I can't with you.
Moving forward.
So the next topic is hurt people. Hurt people.
God knows I never meant to hurt you.
I'm trying to think, what movie was that? So I feel like somebody said this in a movie, like hurt people. Which
I feel like they said it in quite a few, maybe either movies or series, but it's one like really popular one that I believe that you may be referring to.
Yeah, and I just can't think of the name of it for some reason. I really can't. Like, I'm sitting here thinking I can't think of the name of it.
Well, realistically, I mean, I'm not going to get into detail, but based on my recent experience, we do know that hurt people hurt people.
Oh yeah. Trust and believe. Yes, they do.
Or
at least they try to.
Right. Especially when, unfortunately, we're women, and we just have to be real about it. When women are hurt, we tend to want to lash out and hurt others because we're hurt as well.
Sorry.
And that's just the reality of it. We want to get our shit off, and somebody got to pay for it.
Let us not be like that anymore, though. Like
think about it. Jasmine Sullivan said, "I bust the windows out your car."
Right.
When you think about that aspect, when you think about the aspect of maybe the traumatized
house down.
Right. You think about maybe a traumatized child, maybe who has some vindictive or some harboring feelings against their maybe parents for whatever reason, maybe some abuse or things growing up.
And then that manifests.
Right. So you talk about trauma, relationships. Yeah, there's so many different dynamics of how hurt people can hurt people, but how can we heal from that? I know we talk a lot about on our show about therapy and getting that peace. And I know I'm a person that I'll preach therapy, but I won't go. I'm not gonna even lie. I'll just go ahead and be honest. I don't feel like I'm a person that personally can benefit from it, or at least not at this time, because I just feel like I will go in there and play in the therapist's face. So I'm not gonna even do that. Let the people who genuinely want help at this time go ahead and get it and need it.
I mean, because
right now, I don't feel like I need it, and I damn sure don't want it. I don't need nobody else to sit down and talk to me after my fucking ear. But nevertheless, some other people do though. Some people need guidance because they hurt. Hurt people need guidance.
Little GPS.
Right. And I will say it's interesting because, like I said, especially from my recent experience, although it was very personal, my professionalism had arisen in the situation. When you see another person in crisis, naturally sometimes, as a clinician, as I like to call us, because we are, although we operate our physical work roles in different aspects, we are clinicians. We have to utilize those clinical tools in order to work with our consumers every day. Mm-hmm. So although in my personal situation, I recognized somebody was hurt, I had to bring in my professional skills in order to navigate through the situation. And it wasn't scary at all. It was just interesting. And it just goes to show that you never know who's hurting. You know what I mean? It's just like how people always say, say good morning or smile at somebody. You never know when the last time, someone said hello to them or somebody was nice to them. You never know what somebody else is going through.
True.
And it's the absolute truth. You know what I mean? One day somebody may be lashing out about something that may have happened 2 or 3 months ago or 2 or 3 years ago. Some people harbor things and go through things differently. So I may be able to heal from something. I may have gone through an abusive relationship, and the tools I have, the support that I have, the services and the things that I might have been able to receive during that time may have helped me get through that situation faster than somebody who has not. It may take somebody else 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 10 years to get over a physical abusive relationship. Mm-hmm. So in that aspect, we need to be more understanding that I say that to say, sometimes especially when you know that you're not the direct reason or the direct culprit on why this person is feeling the way that they're feeling. Sometimes us as humans on the opposite side has to take a pause and say, let me look at this hurt person and let me kind of see where I can help them. How can I help them heal? It's not always about being responsive and reactive to something, because two wrongs don't make it right. That's a classic line we all grew up on.
Yep. It's like, how can I insert myself here to make the situation pan out better?
Right. And sometimes you don't even think about it. I mean, especially in our role as clinicians, sometimes you just do it without even thinking about it. And I genuinely feel like in my recent situation, I did it without even thinking about it.
Yeah, that's why I always say you kind of like sort of like never clock out, honestly.
Yeah, you do say it all the time.
Now that you've had this experience, situations arise and it's just like, well, I'm not going to react like a typical person because I already know that's not going to get me anywhere. Right. I have to be smart, take a step back, take a deep breath, and don't respond. Kind of take off that regular hat and put on the professional hat in that moment and just, assess it and, move forward with your best judgment. So yeah, that's all you can really do. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we'd all know somebody that's hurt, that's out here still hurting motherfuckers every day. So,
and I believe every single person in this world, no matter how happy we are, it is still something that causes us to hurt. Everybody has we all got an Achilles heel. You know what I mean? We all have a weakness. You know what I mean? So there's something that we're all still healing from, no matter how big or small it is. So we all have to make the mature decision that if we're hurting, we got to make healing is a choice, period.
I will say that, and it's a choice regardless if you're a person who hurts people on accident because of what you went through, or a person who is very vindictive and who is very, who knows what they're doing, who is intentionally hurting people. And those are the other kinds of hurt people that hurt people too. But regardless of which one of those you may fall under, and I'm not saying I'm any better than you, but I definitely don't want to be a person that's going to hurt people either on purpose. But that's just for me personally, kind of like the lesser of two evils, whatever. Because you don't know what the outcome could be. But I just feel like ultimately it's still a choice. You got to make that choice. It's a choice to heal. It's a process. And it's you got to keep making a choice. It's not just like, you might make a split decision one day, but it's something that you got to just keep putting the work in for. It's not something that's just instantly gratifying, like at all. So yeah, definitely a thing that I feel like I want to see less of. For more healing. And I know,
I agree. And I know that people, we often promote and push the idea of, going to therapy. There are different types of therapy. Music therapy, art therapy. There, you got groups, all women groups, all men groups. There's very different types, and especially now that we had the unfortunate insertion of the pandemic, a lot of places are offering telehealth. You don't actually have to go in. You can do it virtually. You can do it very comfortably from your own home. You can have that one-on-one or that group experience from at home. So take advantage of it, I would just say, or even if it's just, I don't need to talk to somebody every day. I just need to talk to somebody during those moments when I'm feeling something. Call the crisis line. Philadelphia has a crisis line. There's a national crisis line. There's an 800 number and a text line. You can, I think it's crisis 41 or 71. I'll get it and I'll find it if we can, I'll definitely have it. And we can actually put it in the description of this episode, specifically just as like a marker for those who may need it. Period.
Resource.
Yeah. It's a resource, period. Like I say, whether you want to talk to somebody consistently or you just need to talk to somebody when you have in a moment, just to kind of get it off your chest and find some more resources that if you need to use them ongoingly, you can.
Yep, you should, because dumping on your friends isn't always good either.
It's not, because I'm not that friend anymore. I used to be, but I'm not her anymore. I'm just not. I'm just not. Because you know what I figured? I'm not the friend that most people like to hear to get dumped on. So why the fuck am I going to let somebody do it to me?
Yeah.
Nobody normally likes to hear. I'm normally not the friend that people like to call and hear complain about shit. So I'm no longer going to be their friend. Sorry. Love y'all, but y'all want to hear my fucking mouth, I want to hear yours.
Don't get on my nerves. So,
just saying. I mean, am I wrong for that?
No.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure, just checking.
It's the way you said it, of course.
Well, how else was I supposed to say it?
As usual.
Well, I said I love you.
They said the same thing about me. It's okay.
Listen, y'all know I'm the B-I-T-C-H. The B-I-T-C-H.
You gonna be the head bitch in charge.
Okay, B-H-B-I-C. Okay? No Tiffany, okay? This ain't Flavor LA. Okay? Period. Stop. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, hurt people, we're going to leave that information in the description for you guys on this episode. So, look out for that. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about that for me personally. I don't really want to share much more.
Me either, but it definitely goes perfectly with the next topic, which we have down is retraining your thoughts. That in itself is a process.
I have to do that.
It's something that I'm still even doing, especially with certain thoughts. With certain thoughts too, in particular. So yeah, trying to replace it with something positive and just.
And again, I do think that unfortunately we have to retrain ourselves from being hurt, and that's part of the healing process. So it kind of goes hand in hand. When you know that it's kind of like, and I hate to kind of always use the same examples, but it's kind of like having a cheating man, a cheating husband, cheating man, whatever the case may be. You don't want to think that every man is a cheater, although there's a lot of women out here who feel like that. But that's not necessarily true. So you don't want to feel like every man that you date is going to be a cheater just because the last one hurt you oh so bad. You have to retrain your thought process. You have to regain trust. Retrain and regain. Okay, people, retrain and regain.
Yep.
Because you have to regain trust in someone no matter what. When somebody hurts you, no matter how it is, you have to regain trust in them, whether it's a platonic relationship, a romantic relationship, business, no matter what. You have to regain trust in that person.
Yep.
Period. And that goes on, that trust that's being regained is responsible on both parties. Because it's up to you to show me that I'm able to trust you, and it's up to me to be able to not be stubborn, for lack of a better term, and build up that wall and be able to again regain that process and to work with you on regaining that trust back. So both of us have to work hand in hand on that. And that's just the way I feel about it.
That's a team effort. That's definitely a team effort.
Yeah, you have to.
And I feel like retraining your thoughts, it makes you stronger mentally also.
I agree. Because you can often look back and compare it like, damn, I used to think like this, and now I think like this, but I can see the growth or the differences in how one way benefited me and the other does not. Because you may be in two different places in your life. What worked for you 5 years ago may not work for you today, and may for damn sure not work for you 5 years from now.
Right.
Especially with how swiftly the world is changing.
Very fast.
Because I think I've said it before, even when it just comes down to things that you like, it's things that I love now that I couldn't stand maybe 10 or 15 years ago, and vice versa.
Right. Yeah.
And it's scary to me. I'm just like, damn, I remember when I didn't like this or this. And this
like, who am I?
Right. Who is this person? You look in the mirror. Is this real?
Is it me? Is it like
hello? Is it me that you're looking for? Shoot. But I mean, yeah, I just think, especially coming out of Black History Month, although this was one of the dullest Black History Months ever, I think 2022 might go down as one of the corniest years in Black history ever. But nevertheless, just kind of coming off of it, we just need to kind of refresh because, you know, throughout the month, we watch a lot of Black history movies. And, you know, this is around the time that we think back on our, you know, slavery times and things like that. And I do think that although we definitely need to remember our history, I don't think that is necessary per se to, I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this. I don't think that it's necessary to rehearse it often, if that makes sense.
What you mean? Rehearse what?
Like history. Like during Black History Month, that's normally the time where we watching all the old slave movies and things like that. And this is around the time where we kind of get angry at white people all over again, for lack of a better word. Right. And that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like that this is the time to do that. I feel like when are we going to get past that? So okay. I guess I used the wrong. I may have said it wrong when I said rehearsing it, because like I said, we definitely need to know our histories. Every generation needs to know their past. But when it comes to like I said, the rehearsing and the constant reiteration, I just feel like, I don't know.
So
it gets it's a catch-22. It gets a little difficult for me. I don't know.
So for me, it was refreshing to see some new stuff being, you know, some new things that were happening with young Black people and today during Black History Month. You know, not even just Black History Month, but like things that were new and fresh and, you know, just things to be proud of. And to add to that, because I did want to bring that up because I did see some really good, interesting stuff. Well, we talked about some different things last episode, we shouted out the young girl who did the suture thing, the change color. I thought that was so major. Like,
absolutely.
I was so happy for her. But when I'm looking at retraining your thoughts and you're sitting here and you're talking about Black History Month, one of the first things that came to my mind was the fact that I feel like kind of sort of this might stick to and speak to what Kanye was trying to do when he said Black Future Month. Was he calling it Black Future Month or some shit like that? Basically, he was trying to put a positive, in my eyes, he was trying to put a positive spin on Black History Month and make it be like, you know, well, what do we have to look forward to in the future for Black people? Like, what's going on? What are we working on now?
Okay.
That's how it transcribed into my head, me personally, because why else would you say that? You know what I'm saying?
Right, Black history, Black future. Okay, history and future. That makes sense. Okay.
So, and we have so many like young people who are doing stuff, like people are becoming more financially literate. People are, you know, taking on the responsibility of, you know, provide for their families via their own avenues. Like they're not even relying on corporate anymore. People are setting records. People are
they're working off these jobs, honey.
Listen, they is breaking barriers.
Yes.
So I feel like, in a sense, some people have been on that journey with themselves. And I feel like whether they know it or not, and, you know, they probably just had like an epiphany one day, like, you know what, I just want to do this shit. And you got to retrain. To do something great, you do have to retrain your thoughts, and you do have to get into a mindset where you're willing to follow through and you're willing to finish. And I think that takes fine tuning.
I agree.
With anything that you do, not even just.
And it takes diligence. Yeah, it takes diligence and it takes persistence. Like you have to want to do it. Like there is no, you got to do it when you don't want to. You got to do it when you're tired. Like you have to push through. Like it takes persistence and consistency. Period. It's like building a business. If you only want to wake up one day and you say, "Oh, I want to open a store," well, if you only work on the options and the things to do on opening that store maybe once a week or once a month, you ain't going. I'm not gonna say you'll never open that store, but almost never. It'll take you forever.
Yeah, right.
You got to be consistent and persistent. Something has to be going on all the time concerning that because that ball not gonna stop rolling
at all. Life gonna go on though.
Yes, it will.
For sure, for sure. And the more you say I could have or I should have, and then it's like 5 years later, it's like you should have.
But you didn't.
Yep.
You could have, but you should have, but you didn't.
Amen to that. And I want to send a positive message out to the people. Retrain your thoughts when it comes to yourself and your outlook on the world. When it comes to yourself and your outlook on the world.
Nam yo hore get you. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
People.
Nam yo hore get you and amen. There we go. What? I was watching Jameson.
Can't deal with you right now.
Shout out to Tina. Anime woman. For real. And we rolling. Rolling there. All right. So anyway, do you have any final thoughts about retraining your thoughts for the people?
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay.
Work it out though. Yeah,
work it out. I think we got real deep in a real short amount of time. We got real deep real quick. Move fast. We did. Well, you guys, I guess we can shoot and just jump right into the boss of the week and just go ahead and wrap it up. I chose this boss of the week, guys. Okay, so y'all know I rarely watch the news, right? But when I was watching the news, I happened to see, shout out, first of all, this is not an ad, but shout out to Fox 29. Anytime I do watch the news, I do fuck with Mike and Alex in the morning, okay? On Fox 29, because they my dogs, okay? I was watching them, and our boss of the week, this is where I found him. He was the recent winner of Guy Fieri's Chance of a Lifetime show, and they call him the Chicken Guy. He's a Philadelphia native from here. Shout out to Chef Steak. That is Chef Steak, Steek, aka the Chicken Guy. He will be opening up his own restaurant with the earnings that he won in Chef Fieri's Chance of a Lifetime. So watching that, his story was very inspirational. I believe he's from the Mount Airy side of the city. And it was just really dope seeing a black guy who knew what he was doing with some chicken in there. I heard he makes some bomb-ass cheese sticks too. So I really want to try that shit out because I'm like, I ain't gooey nooey's been at the top of my list for a while. So you ain't got no. So again, shout out to Chef Steve, aka the Chicken Guy. You are our boss of the week. We saw you doing your thing on Fox 29. You are the winner of Guy Fieri's Chance of a Lifetime. So you're doing big things. Another Philly native rocking the fucking show. And congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
Yes. So go ahead, Chef Steak. So you guys follow him. You guys get to his restaurant and try out his food before me. Let me know how it is because y'all know I don't like no nasty shit. So Chef Steak, I am coming your way. So that is our boss of the week. Y'all can find him at Chef CHEF Steak STEEK. So it's almost like steak, but it's 2 E's instead of an EA.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get a plate next time I want me a cheese steak.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna try him out.
Yeah.
I have a whole list in my phone of like every time I see like a different restaurant or something that I want to try, I just add it right to a list. I have a whole notepad in my phone that literally says restaurants that I want to try.
Yep.
Like literally just in the city of Philadelphia. So guys, if you want to send any our way, that would be wonderful. I like to try new foods. Whether I know you're a little bit finicky when it comes to food. I ain't got time to be fucking with you. It's thing. I don't like that. You ain't even eat a chat. You be starting your shit when it comes to food. I don't know if I want to go out and try new food with you. I might gotta call one of my other good girlfriends because you be trying it. Like you don't really eat Mediterranean food and stuff like that. I like it. It smells a little funny, but I like it. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You don't even like the smell of curry.
It's
Like,
sorry.
Who don't like curry?
It's steak. I don't.
It's good for your body, man.
No.
What you say?
Me don't like that. Me don't like that.
That's I mean, but now I tell you, like,
Yeah.
But listen, it's the countdown, honey, because I'm getting ready for this trip. Don't worry.
Period.
Don't worry about it. But anyway, nevertheless, guys, that was all we had for you guys this episode. Like I said, we got real deep, real fast, talking about, retraining your thoughts, hurt people who hurt people. It was a deep episode.
And that good old free speech that we've had, but we really don't have, but we have, but we really don't have.
We can thank the good old country of America that we live in for that. So I guess we're going to go ahead and get out of your hair. We want to remind you guys to follow us on Instagram at To Each His Own 215 Podcast. On YouTube, we are To Each His Own 215 Pod, P-O-D. And no, we do not have a Twitter. No, we do not have a Facebook. So you can find us on those two platforms as of right now. You can find me at Miss.Lomax, Lomax. And Chop took the underscore out of her name, so it's just Sunkissed Chop, all one word.
And we're also wherever you listen to your podcast, we're there too. Wherever you listen.
Yes, we are. So
Google,
that is
Apple, Spotify.
There we go. Took the words right out of my mouth. So please, guys, find us, join us. Join the tribe. We drop each and every Sunday at midnight. So find us wherever you listen, wherever you watch, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, we will.
So bye. Thank you guys for joining us.